Now, this video is about Thailand, what people need to consider. But one of the things we can share some other things as well when we're making these videos. I looked and I seem to have deleted yeah, seem to have deleted one of my evenings where I'm a bit spaced out. I'm taking my photos from my my mobile phone, or camera, but in this case, mobile phone, and I am transferring it over to my computer. And in the process, I have got confused, and I've probably not just copied over, I've cut. I seem to have deleted all the photos of 2026. Yeah. On my computer. I'm sure I can go back to my phone and I can find some photos, but I can't be asked to do it right this minute. So I thought, oh, okay, let's look for some photos of where I'm currently living, which is Thailand. And, copy and paste some nice pictures. But I thought, oh, there's none there. There's only ones from 2024, 25, 23, 2021, blah, blah, blah. I'm missing massive amounts of fucking photo history. I haven't done the thing yet. I haven't basically plugged my phone in, the other phones, taken all the imagery down. Although I must admit that deleting an entire folder on my computer called 2026, it strikes me as even my stupidity doesn't normally go to reach those levels of stupidity. But they did. So I'm going to put this there instead. I'm going to put these two from a well-known documentary because, I do talk about things like, why things are the way they are. And I don't have a image to hand of the country of Thailand. But what we're going to talk about today is the heat. And one thing you need to factor in is you white cracker Europeans and then now there are older Europeans from all over Europe. I've met them, all of retirement age, of course, and ones that are traveling and or working that are younger, but mostly older people, retirees. They've been living here a lot longer than I have, and I think some of them are like, you'll get used to it. The heat. You'll get used to it. I mean, I don't know if I really, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, mate. I don't think I'll ever get used to the abusive weather. Like, nothing can thrive here in this tropical climate. Only specific flora and fauna can survive in these conditions. And that's what makes it different to where we come from, us white cracker Europeans or Americans. We have a mixed climate, hot, cold, somewhere in between. Even China has that, unless you're on the south of China where I've heard some good things about it, actually. But if you're in the middle of China or the north of China, you're going to get a winter. And in the UK, winter is bleak as fuck. And, our bodies have adapted, if you've been raised in Europe, to try and survive that. So we are hairier. We are more hairy. And I was having this conversation with one of my Thai friends. I'd say like half of them have almost no English. My friend group that are Thai locals. Half of them have got no English at all. These are the people I usually see on a daily basis. You know, I'm in their shops and stuff, and sometimes I'll sit there and I'll have a beer. And then the other half living in, you know, other cities where there's more tourism. More tourism means more money and everything else like that. So they're gonna need to speak some English, right? The shops and restaurants. But it's such an important thing to consider, because us people that live in these colder climates, we're off to Spain, off to sunny, sunny Spain. And we do that for 2 weeks of the year because we're allowed to have, like, oh, I don't know, you know, in Europe, you know, you're allowed to have a paid holiday. Oh well, but 28 days. I mean, for the plebs, for the vast majority of plebs who are the vast majority of the workforce in the United Kingdom, we might get a couple of weeks off a year. So they're going to go to Spain, they're going to go to France for the warmer weather. And they may even come to Thailand, because the thing is, going to Thailand takes quite a long time. You are literally stuck on a plane for 10 hours. You're going into a vehicle and you can't get out of it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. You can't open the window to get some fresh air. You are fucking stuck in this goddamn tube. I mean, that's a video for another day. My thoughts on technology. Because I'm also into another subject and have been, like, I'm in my 50s now. I've been into the subject of UFOs and, since I was probably 15, 16, 17, 18. I was like, well, of course, it makes sense to me. I mean, back then, I didn't discount it. I didn't dismiss it at all. I was like, do you know everything? Person who is sitting in front of you saying there's no such things as aliens? Well, hang on. You don't even have the perspective of, say, a crocodile and how they view the world, or an ant, or how that views the world. So you absolutely can't dismiss it. And this is also one of the reasons why liberals use this same kind of thing of, well, you can't prove that there's no such thing as trans, you know, and blah, 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 blah. But then you end up going down that fucking rabbit hole. So on the subject of UFOs, I'm just going to talk about that another day, I think. This is about Thailand. And you have to consider, being in Thailand is the environment, not the other things. Nothing else matters. What matters is, and the only thing that matters is you being in the habitat, in the environment of this country. I'm going to put it like this. You are living in an oven and the heat is between 35 and 45. So that means don't go outside unless you absolutely have to. And a lot of us have to. Those of us that aren't, well, they're retired here, right? Someone's here on a holiday. They're only going to have to put up with it for a couple of weeks. And they might even find out within that couple of weeks that it's just unbearable. For that person, you know, fucking unbearable. This is like debilitating. This much heat is debilitating. You know, 40. I mean, 45 is a bit extreme, because that's like Arab temperature, India temperature. I'd say 40 something is very much on the high side. Even the Thai nationals have told me themselves it wasn't like this 10 years ago. Climate change. Oh, you've just proved climate change. No, I don't think so. I think probably the planet's, you know, gets a little bit hotter, and then it, you know, every summer. So let's go back to the summer of 1980 in Thailand. It was probably, you know, a high temperature might be 35. And then you go back 20 years before that, or 30 years before that, and it will be more than 35. If I'm being a bit cosmic and spiritual for a minute, I truly believe that waves, when you consider waves in a waveform, and the waves having a peak and then a lower level either side. That's the universe for me. On that level, the rising and falling of anything, and then rising again. So to get this done, if you are thinking of going to Thailand and living in Thailand, you have to consider the heat. It will affect your entire day, and whatever your things that you're doing in Thailand, you may or may not be able to cope with it. I'm struggling. At the moment, I can hide inside with fans and an AC. I can avoid the daytime heat. The other thing is, you won't see a lot of walking where I am. It's kind of not practical to do that. You're going to start sweating buckets within 5 or 10 minutes if you have to go outside at all during the day. If you have to go outside at all. I see delivery guys with crash helmets and clothing. They've got like, proper clothing on. And then I see other locals who are like wearing the bare minimum on a motorbike they don't even have a crash helmet on. It is another thing you might want to consider when you come to Thailand. Fart machines. They're called motorbikes, but they're basically fart machines. There's this entire culture here because, as I say, it's what's the saying of something about the devil or the better of two evils or something like. It's kind of practical to have a motorbike. I see 11 and 12, 13-year-old kids on motorbikes here. Can you imagine that in Western Europe? No crash helmet. Hello, teacher. On the weekend, you might be walking around and they'll see you. And I immediately jump to, oh, that's dangerous. Oh, that's dangerous. Actually, doesn't seem to be that dangerous for them. They're not. It's when you get to the your university age now. They're real tossers because they've edited or they've modded their exhaust because they want their bike to sound as loud as possible. So there's a lot of, this is something that hasn't hit Thailand yet, noise pollution. I believe there was a recent article in Bangkok about them actually even considering this, isn't having all these fucking motorbikes and they noisy bastard devices, and they also create quite a lot of air pollution. It's becoming a bit of a problem in Bangkok. And they are banned in some Chinese cities. You can't ride motorbikes because they're just basically air pollution devices. But it's a practical necessity for the people of Thailand, who not all of them live in cities. In fact, most of them don't live in major cities. The vast majority do not. So if they want to go to buy something locally, they have to get on a bloody a motorbike. And it's going to be a piece of shit. It's going to need, constant repair and things, to keep it going. But that's what life is like here for the vast majority of the local Thai people. And they can bear the heat. When you go from living in an oven, what happens is the oven during the less hot times, and this is even worse. So you've just put up with 3 months of living in an oven. Well, that oven that was set to like 35 to 40, it's going to go down a few degrees. It's going to go down about 2 or 3 degrees. But the humidity is going to increase by about 50%. Sorry, it's going to go from about 25, 30 to 80. Let me tell you, 80% humidity is absolutely disgusting. It is fucking disgusting. And not all the buildings and the shops and the schools have got AC and classrooms. Try working in that. Try living in that. Yeah, it's not fun. And that brings us to the end of the video.